In today's episode of Have a Plan Before You Land, Gerry Scott asks Jay Freeborne, an enrolled agent with Washington Tax Services, for advice to help Americans living in Canada who need to file U.S. taxes with the IRS.
We have a lot of Americans living in Canada, and they have neglected to file their tax returns. Some of them believe that they shouldn't have to do it. What advice can you give these people?
Thanks so much. Well, let's look at this from three different potential buckets, if you will. One, you should file a tax return as an expat just to, prevent any scrutiny, unless you literally are below the filing requirement, which is a couple thousand of income a year. That's easily Googleable, by the way, filing requirement. But generally speaking, if you're a normal working full-time and or self-employed individual, you're either going to file 6 years of tax returns, 2016 to 21, or 17 to 22, or 18 to 23, depending on when you're listening to this. And that should satisfy your requirements with the IRS. However, some people might just want to do 3 years and see if that satisfies the IRS. It often will as well. Now, one caveat to all this is whether you owe taxes or not. If you're going to owe taxes and can't afford to pay them, then doing 6 years has to be your only option, as you'll have to enter a payment agreement or make a settlement. Now, let's get to the greater context around expats. Expats don't have to pay income taxes up to $108,000, and expats using the foreign earned income exclusion, and expats also in excess of $108,000 can use foreign tax credits to further reduce their U.S. taxes. So most people that are expats won't be paying any U.S. taxes, but some will if you're in the upper income. Now, there are other requirements besides filing your 1040s, and that is if you have Canadian bank accounts which exceed US $10,000, you'll have to submit an FBAR. And if you have 50,000 aggregate accounts, you'll have to report a FATCA form with your 1040. And if you're self-employed and own a Canadian corporation, you do need to disclose that corporation using Form 5471. And so that is kind of like a rough list of the compliance. Now, the 5471s there's an onerous penalty associated with them. And so many people take advantage of the streamlined expat program, which is file 3 years of 1040s, 6 FBARs, and your 3 5471s, and ask for forgiveness of the penalties. But in summation, American expats living in Canada should file tax returns. Most of you won't owe U.S. taxes. And but there are some significant penalties if you don't file your FBARs, which I did mention before, or your 5471s. And so we're Washington Tax Services in Seattle, Washington, watax.com. Send us an email with the description of your issue, and we're happy to engage with you.
To learn more about today's guest, send us an email.